Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back. Today I figured I would show off uh, one of my quickly um, rising to favorite knife patterns, I guess you'd say. I was trying to think of a good way of saying it, but there's that. Um, but yeah, these are Whittlers, and they are very different and very the same to each other. That's one thing I do like about the Whittler pattern. It's not like a large trapper or a mini trapper. They all typically look the same. They all have the same design, um, shape, all that. Whereas with the Whittler, there's quite a few different variations. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Uh, Many variations to the Whittler pattern. So I figured I'd just kind of show what I have in my collection. Now this is not. There's plenty other variations of the Whittler that I don't have sitting here on the table, but um, just to start off, let's look at this one. Um, this is a Winchester. Now this is a two-blade Whittler, what they would call a half Whittler. But it has the Warncliffe. I'll try to get that stamp in there. And y'all forgive me if I sound a little congested. I'm trying to get over this cold. It's just been lingering for the past few days now. But you can see made in USA. This is a 2935 pattern number, and it was made in 1988. On the other end, it's got a pin blade, which doesn't have a whole lot of snap opening. Not sure if somebody's fiddled with this one or not, but got your USA Winchester stamp. Plenty of snap closing. But this was a really cool knife. I was able to get this one for a steal, and I'm pretty happy to have it in the collection for now. But real pretty bone, kind of a brown bone, real pretty. Now that's a what they would call, like I said, a half Whittler. This one, another Winchester. Now this has three blades, and this is your typical Whittler pattern. Where you have a main blade on one end and two secondary blades on the other end. Now this one is considered a split back Whittler, and you can see this liner, this brass liner running right down the middle of the two back springs, and it tapers off, and that would make it the split back. But it makes it to where the two secondary blades run on their own back spring, but on the opposite end, the main blade runs on both. So you get an extra degree of what's the word I'm looking for? Lockup, I guess you'd say. Now this is, I will go ahead and show the tank stamp. That's a 3907 made in 1991. You've got your USA Winchester stamps. Real pretty. I guess you'd call that a Coralon. Synthetic handles. And guys, y'all might think I'm crazy, but I do carry all of these knives. Or have carried them. I don't know. If I spend money on a knife, I can't just let it sit there and not knocking anybody that has safe queens or display pieces and all that that's not where I'm getting at. I'm just trying to. I got to use them. I got to carry them. If I get a chance to cut something, I'm definitely going to pull one out. But yeah, it's I got to carry these. So, and anything else that I show, further down the line, like I said, I try to carry all of my stuff. I try to keep stuff in the rotation. Some get carried more than others, but now this was a really really cool find. I had been wanting this knife. This is a Schrade. You can see Heritage Schrade Plus, New York, USA. But this was made in 1984. Also a split back Whittler. So you've got the two secondaries run on their own spring, and the main clip point blade, in this case, runs on both springs. Yeah, this was made in 1984. Bone covers, really pretty bone. And like I said, I was real happy to find this one. I had been looking at these on eBay when they pop up, and they're always expensive, or they just want more than what I want to spend. But I was actually able to snag this one in a flea market, antique mall. Came with a little sheath, like a holster sheath, that somebody had made. And like I said, I had to get this one. I'm a 1984. Actually, today is September 5th. Yesterday was the 4th, and that was my birthday. 41 years old. So all you old timers, I'm starting to catch up to you. Y'all better speed it up. Just messing. So this is a 8041 model number. Again, 3-blade. Now this one has the coping blade, along with a mini mini clip point, and just a really nice piece. I was really happy to find. This was the first knife that I had actually wanted, had been looking at and actually found in a flea market. So that was really cool. But real pretty knife. Schrade made some awesome stuff, especially like their old timers. But all right, so sticking with the split back, we're gonna jump over here. This is also a split back. This is a case, and it's actually Case Brothers. You see the Bradford, PA, and this is a 1990. And these were made by Queen, as well as this Winchester back here. Pretty sure both of these were made by Queen. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure. But Queen always has just a distinct profile to their blades. Whether it be a clip point or a spear point, you kind of know a Queen made knife when you see it. But this is a tested 63043 and a half. And this one comes with, of course, the big old honking clip point. And then you have a spear point here, and on this side, it's another spear point. So, 2 spear points on one end. Some might call it a pin blade. It's a little fatter than a pin blade in my opinion, but nonetheless, beautiful knife. I have a box to all of these somewhere, so I wish I could tell you what color bone this is, but just a beautiful kind of caramel colored bone. And she's a user. Now, sticking with the case and queen made, here is another case. Really pretty, kind of a, I don't know if you call that natural bone. I think this is more like an antique bone. But this has the spear point with half stops. This one definitely has the half stops. 1995. You can see the tested XX 63046. Just a beautiful spear point. Like I said, Queen knew how to make a good knife. This one has a little mini spear point pin blade, and on the opposite side we have a beautiful, once again, spay blade with that. Just look at that swedging. Yeah, Queen did it right. But this is, instead of being a split back, this one actually rides on 3 springs. So each blade has its own back spring, that locks it up. So really pretty knife. Yeah, it looks like it just kind of moves a little bit, I was going to say. But yeah, like I said, I think this is more like kind of a antique bone. And sticking with the 3 back springs, here's another case. And this is got a spear point, and this is a 2010, I believe. Yeah, 10 dots, 2010. Got a spear point on one end. If I can get this boy open. Little spear point on that side, and then a spay blade. And this is model 63046, WH for Whittler, and CV for chrome vanadium. So those that don't know chrome vanadium, that's what I believe is Case's original carbon steel that they used to use. They don't use CV anymore, I don't think. Maybe on occasion, on special runs or something, they might do that. But this is a beautiful knife. I mean, it almost looks like a strawberry, fresh picked strawberry. Yeah, so those are your typical 3-blade, except for this one, Whittlers. Where a clip point, the main blade's on one end, and the 2 secondary blades are on the other. Now, this is a Camillus. This one is an exception. Yellow Delrin, it's old, got a few little stress cracks around the pins. But this is from the Yellow Jacket series. Those are scratches. Camillus, New York, USA. And this is the pattern 72. Now, you might say, well, that just looks like a Stockman. Yeah, this is your typical Stockman kind of setup. But Camillus actually called this their Carpenter's Whittler. So it's got your coping blade, your small clip point, secondary, and then your main clip point blade. And as you can see, both of the secondaries run on one spring, and your main just runs on its own spring, a little bit thicker than the other. But yeah, so this would typically be, a Stockman kind of setup. But like I said, Camillus did call this their Carpenter's Whittler, so it's with my Whittlers. And it's kind of like a like a reverse Coke bottle kind of design in a way. But yeah, so that's a look at, I believe, all of my Whittlers. Watch, as soon as I post this, I'll remember one, but hopefully not. So I appreciate all of y'all for stopping by. Hopefully everybody hung out. I know this was a little bit long, 16 minutes, but it wasn't just one or two knives either. So I wanted to kind of knock them all out in one video. But yeah, hopefully everybody liked what they saw. If you're a fan of the Whittler, comment below. Let me know what your favorite Whittler pattern is. Like I said, they've slowly climbed the ranks in my favorite patterns, but they just don't come around or come out enough. You know what I mean? So you got to find them and get them when you can. But I appreciate y'all. Again, gonna try to step up the video content. In between projects, maybe I'll just do some of these kind of videos where I show part of my collection. But again, hope y'all like what you see. Comment below. Let me know which one of these was your favorite. Or like I said, if you're a fan of the Whittler, what's your favorite Whittler? All right, I will catch y'all on the next one. Thanks again, guys. Peace.